just very speedy.
Let's kick it over to one more, my friends. You've got Owen Turtenwald playing against Alex Javed. You've got Sneak and Show versus Combo Elves. Owen 4-0, as is Alex. And we're working our way into game number 3. It looks like Owen will be on the play this go around. He's deciding if he wants to keep his opening hand.
Looks like he's in the process of mulliganing.
Again, Javed, his Sneak and Show deck list here. He's got 4 Gristlebrands, 4 Emrakul's, of course. 1 Simeon Spirit Guide. We don't see that a lot. And he's got 1 Jace the Mind Sculptor. I know Todd Anderson played 2 last weekend. He absolutely loved having that in his deck as it creates a real tension for the players when they do play against it. The rest of the stuff is stock. He's got his Brainstorms and his Ponders, his Misdirection, his Show and Tells, his Sneak Attacks. He's got some Force of Wills to protect himself. As we are underway in game number 3 here, Turtenwald actually on the draw. So it looks like he was able to steal game number 2 against the combo deck. He's going to start by playing a Misty Rainforest, go down to 19, and we'll see if he has some sort of green creature to play, maybe a Zenith or a discard spell, in Thoughtseize or Cabal Therapy.
And Alex with 3 copies of Pyroclasm in his sideboard. I would suspect those are primarily for Meddling Mage type creatures, but certainly having a bunch of Pyroclasms against Elves is excellent as well.
I'm going to search out the Savannah here instead of a Bayou, so you have to believe he brought in discard spells. Just chances are he doesn't have one just yet. Going to play a Quirion Ranger before passing the turn back.
Yeah, Owen has Kasali Pride Mage in his hand, so he wants to start with Savannah.
Fair enough.
3 Lotus Petals, 1 Simeon Spirit Guide is I very rarely have seen that.
I think the reason for that is that Alex can really catch someone off guard with Simeon Spirit Guide.
That's part of it. I think you also are probably slightly better against Tarmogoyf having a Simeon Spirit Guide in place of a Lotus Petal.
Sure.
Because you're not putting an artifact at the graveyard, you're exiling a creature.
Minor things, but they all matter when you're playing Legacy.
Yeah. I am very interested in the fact that this deck always plays 4 Lotus Petals and never plays a Simeon Spirit Guide, or that's most frequently the number, because Simeon Spirit Guide is about as good as Lotus Petal in a lot of spots, and even slightly better sometimes. And the deck's in the market for a lot of mana, so it just seems like too convenient of an answer to say, I want exactly 4 copies of this effect, when Simeon Spirit Guide is so close in functionality.
Little brainstorm action here for Javed. It looks like he's ready to put 2 cards back. Turtenwald almost ready to untap. He wants to get this show on the road. Alex hasn't even played a land yet. So, easy Tiger. There's a Scalding Tarn. He's got a Pyroclasm in his hand already. He's going to sacrifice this Scalding Tarn. See if it's going to go basic hunting or volcanic hunting. And it will be a volcanic.
Yeah, it can be pretty safe. There's no risk of Wasteland in Owen's deck.
Yeah, if he is familiar with Elves. No Wastelands hiding out over there.
So I imagine he's going to follow this up with a Ponder.
And maybe a little bit more manipulation here from Alex. Owen going to shuffle up. He'll send it back. Let's see if he would like to cast a Ponder here. You see the Force Will in his grip, and he will cast the manipulation spell from Lorwyn. So hit 1 and a 2 and a 3. Volcanic Island, Force of Will, and looks like Simeon Spirit Guide are the 3 cards he's looking at. None of those all that exciting. He'll consult his hand really quickly here, see if he wants to keep those cards or not. Maybe he'll send them back for a little shuffle action. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm curious because it looks like Alex is missing a way to cheat one of his creatures into play.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me as well.
He has an Emrakul, but nowhere to go.
He's got himself defended quite well, too, you have to say. Force of Will, another blue card in his hand, and a Pyroclasm at the ready, so. Well, Ponder going to resolve, and he's going to go shuffling. Predictably there, as those 3 cards were not all that great.
This is a defining characteristic of Legacy.
Shuffling?
Picking up your deck and shuffling.
My favorite.
Yeah.
And I don't even cast Ponders. I don't cast Brainstorms to sack fetch lands, and I still find time to shuffle. You don't like shuffling. That's why you play Burn. I understand.
I play some fetch lands, but you know, you don't have to think about it.
That's true.
You're not like, oh, do I need a volcanic or an island here?
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
So mystery card coming. It was a Misty Rainforest, so more shuffling soon. As Turtenwald will take a draw here. Picked up a Heritage Druid.
And Owen does have Glimpse, so his hand has some explosive potential. Alex, of course, can protect himself against this with Force of Will.
Yeah, if he doesn't want there to be a big turn. Also, he could just let Owen have a big turn and Pyroclasm everything away. Here's Kasali Pride Mage.
Well, the problem with the big turn is there's a risk that it's just lethal that turn.
Yeah. There's the Ranger in for 2, of course, due to the Exalted Trigger. And Turtenwald is going to pass the turn back. So nothing crazy going on here for Owen. I wouldn't be too surprised. Maybe he got Pyroclasm in the last game and is trying to stagger his threats a little bit so he doesn't get blown out by that. Mr. Rainforest here for Alex.
Well, he can only wait so long because there's a really strong likelihood that he just dies. You know, it's not like there's going to be a sweeper and then he's going to play Jace and, you know, it's going to be, you're dead. So you can only ration your threats so much.
That's what makes Pyroclasm so powerful.
Yeah.
Plays right into the plan. Turtenwald going to pick up, looks like a forest for the turn.
I think it might have been a Cradle.
Maybe a Cradle, okay. Looked like a land nonetheless. See the glimpse. This would be a nice turn to actually go from 0 to 100 if you can. But this might buy out the counterspell, so we'll see.
Yeah, the problem is that it's only going to get worse for Owen.
Oh, yeah.
He is likely to just die, and Alex has a lot more manipulation to assemble his combo.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Heritage Druid Tide. Maybe trying to get a counterspell out here. There's a Cradle. 3, 4, he's going to go for Natural Order. Sacrifice this. Will that resolve? I think we know the answer is no.
Yeah, this has to be worth countering.
Because I think that Natural Order would be go searching for a copy of Progenitus, actually. There's also the chance it would be Whirl Spineworm. So either way, we're not going to find out because Force Wheel is going to get that thing out of here. Turtenwald going to come across for 3 points of damage, pass it back over to Javed, who will take a draw step now. There's an Ancient Tomb. So again, he does not have the card to actually cheat anything into play. The question I would ask you, Patrick, especially with the Cradle out there, is it time to cast Pyroclasm?
Seems likely. You know, you're taking some hits now. Your light total might actually be an issue in this game because you have no way, not only do you have no way in your hand, but no way coming, as far as you know, to cheat something into play. So you also have a fetch land, an Ancient Tomb you might be using. Your light total matters here, so I like just sweeping up the board here.
And sweep it up is what he did before passing it over to Turtenwald, who does have a glimpse. But nothing to do with it just yet, so he passes it back over to Javed, who does draw a card. That's another copy of Ancient Tomb. We might be going into hardcast mode.
Well, he has a pedal.
Yeah, he sure does. He's going to sacrifice that Windswept Teeth. Probably a Dried Arbor on the way here for Turtenwald. It'll produce mana for both the Cradle and itself, so a perfect find there for the former Player of the Year.
And whatever, he can go beatdowns here, too.
Yeah, that's true. Whittle him away.
I mean, Alex is showing some weakness in his hand. If he could have killed Owen, he would have done it already, so...
One thing I will say about playing that Ancient Tomb is that going mad mode, for lack of a better term, pretty unlikely. And I think maybe you want to keep that in your hand so you can brainstorm it away.
Yeah, I think it's worth saving one.
Take a draw here, does Turtenwald. Not sure if he finds it. Looks like a Deathrite Shaman. We could see him try to chain off a little bit here with Glimpse. That's what we're going to see. Here's the first one. We know he's got a Deathrite, so he can really work his way into some stuff here, potentially.
And this is one of those situations, if Alex lets it resolve, Owen has a chance to have a productive turn. And if Alex counters it, Owen's also pretty happy.
Gonna tap the Dried Arbor. Here's a draw. Does he find something else to do? Or is it simply passing the turn back, hoping to get lucky there, and maybe he didn't? There's a buy. Yep, and he just passed the turn back. So not a great glimpse there for Turtenwald. Just has to pass it back over to Alex.
Uh-oh.
That's a rather sneaky attack, is what that is.
Uh-oh.
There's Lotus Petal. If he's casting that, you gotta feel pretty bad if you're Turtenwald.
Yeah.
Mana's starting to be tapped. He's going to take 2 and go down to 11 with Javed, but he found the card he was looking for. This is a sneak attack.
I believe he has the tag team left over in his hand.
Yeah, the champions. There's Emrakul. This is sacrificing a Misty Rainforest. And I know Turtenwald's played this deck. I think he's been here before, maybe in some playtest games against Huey Jensen.
Yeah, this is one of those spots where Owen, he sees the Emrakul and he's like, okay, so I lose everything. I go to 3, but I'm still drawing. Maybe he can't find another piece, but when he's going to get the Volcanic, Emrakul's partner in crime is also in hand.
Yeah, the Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah. So I take 17, I go down to 1, I have nothing. That's cool.
Although it actually would be a funny way for this game to knock Owen to no permanence and then cast the Simian Spirit Guide.
I like that.
And kill him with it.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I'm actually really surprised that he doesn't put the Gristlebrand into play there.
I mean, I guess there's some, who knows what Owen can do, and if you render him permanentless, you can just win next turn with Gristlebrand most likely.
Sure. Turtenwald just going to draw and pass. And Alex can probably just show him the Gristlebrand in hand and say, yeah, that'll do it.
You know, maybe Owen has a plummet in his hand. You don't know. So just wait a turn. Leave him with
I do not know. You were right about that. Actually, I do know that he doesn't, but
I'm just saying from Alex's perspective, it's reasonable to wait one turn because if Owen has nothing, you can win no matter what's in his hand.
This is true. This is true.
And you still have the out of drawing and killing him with Simian Spirit Guide, which is worth a lot in my mind.
That's true. That's true. That's also just an alternate avenue to victory.
Right.
I think either way, Owen's going to be a little bit frustrated here as he does draw. This card does Alex. He's going to activate Sneak Attack. And there's Gristlebrand. And he drew a Gristlebrand anyway. That's going to do it. Alex Javed is going to win this match over Owen Turtenwald. 2-1. Sneak a show. Moving on to 5-0. Combo picking up first loss of the tournament.
It seems like it's very hard in the post-board games to beat a deck who can kill you on turn 3 pretty reliably and has 3 copies of Pyroclast up.
Yeah, and ways to protect itself from, getting nut drawn by natural order with Force of Will, too.
Yeah.
It just seems like a really rough matchup after sideboard. So